Please note, this session is being.
First of all, I'll just go ahead and drag my profit or sales, one of the measures. For example, this on rows, and then I have, let's say, order date on top of columns. So this is the trend generally which I get for my sales. I'll convert this into, let's say, month. So over here you see the trend of sales in various months, right? I'm not talking about year right now. I'm saying this is the trend in different months, but yes, this is not correct. What it is, whatever number you see here, this is the sum of all the years, right? For this particular month. Correct?
Sum of all years means from which year to which year you are moving to say? 2000.
Whichever years I have in my data, right? How do you know that how many years are there? 16, 17, 18, 19,
Okay.
right? It shows the data of all the years here right now.
Okay. For a specific month, March.
Okay. If I just select one, this will be data of 2017, which is 38,000.
Okay.
If I select all, this is what? 2,05,000, right? So what I want, if I select 2019, that is 58,000. I want another line also so that I can see in month of March what was the data for 2018, right? That was 51,000. So I want the comparison of these two lines. Getting?
Okay, 2008, 2019, you mean to say?
I mean, let's say if I select 2019 as a current year, I would like to see two lines, one for 2019 and one for 2018.
Okay.
If I select 2000,
Okay, by clicking only a single line, you want to say two lines.
no, so this is what I just dragged here. Maybe I don't need this control. We need something else, right? How user can tell us that this is their current year? How would you give it features? How user can tell us or tell Tableau that this is their current year?
We can create a parameter for it.
Yeah, so we need to create a parameter for that, right? Using parameter, they can tell us whether it is their current year or the previous years.
Okay.
Okay, we definitely don't need this filter because this filter will not help. Okay, so we will be creating one parameter. And over here, user can say, okay, so should I give current versus previous? No, right? System will not know what is the current year. We need to give the list of years. We'll know, okay, this is my current year, right?
Sorry, your voice was a little bit breaking. Can you repeat it once?
Okay. Okay, what I'm trying to say is, if I give current or previous values here, system will not know which is the current year then.
Yes, correct.
In order to clearly mention that this year is my current year, I need to give the drop down year in the drop down.
Yes.
Okay, so let me change the name also. We'll say current year, and over here we'll give the values as we had values of 2016, values of 2017, 2018 and 2019. Similarly, we can have 2020, right?
But this would go like a forecast value, right? If 2020 is not being present to us.
So in this scenario, whatever data is available, only that will come because I'm not using forecast, right?
Okay.
If 2020's data is not there, it will not come. Okay.
Okay.
But whichever is present, only that thing will come. So I said, okay, and we'll show parameter control, right? So my parameter is ready,
What this will be.
but right now we need to create another calculated field so I can bind this parameter with my data,
Correct.
right? So for that, okay, another thing. Let's say calculated field. Over here I will say current versus previous, right? Now think about the logic. If I select 2020, I would say that this is my current year. Okay. If I select 2019, I will say that this is my current year. So basis date, order date, right? Basis order date, I will say if years of order date is equal to the value what we have in parameters, right? So I will say integer of parameters name is current year. Then type current year. Does this condition look at the condition? I mean, don't go by this error right now. Just think about this line. Are you able to understand this?
Year is equal to order date. Okay. Then integer equal to the current date. If order date is this, then the current year should be this. A little bit confusion on this.
What I'm trying to say is, see, in order date, I have number of years,
Correct.
2016, 17, 18, 19.
Yes.
I need to create a flag in order to find out which is my current year.
Okay.
I'm saying if ordered year of order date is equal to the value what we have selected in the parameter.
Parameter. Okay.
If this
Then
year
it is
and the year in the order date is same, then that will be the current year,
current.
right?
Okay. Okay. Got it.
And a year before this will be my
Last year.
right. So a year before this
Mhm.
will be my previous year,
Mhm.
correct?
Okay.
Does this sound right?
Yeah. Previous year we can say.
So
Or
if
you can
these two
mention,
things,
or you can mention clearly 2019 year or something like that. If we know specific what years we have.
no, but we cannot hard code any value here. If you do that, then it will be limited, right?
Okay.
You need to drive with the formulas,
Mhm.
right? So in the first line, I said any year which is related to or same as this year will be current year. And if I subtract 1 from this, whatever year comes, that will be my previous year. And everything else, I don't care about.
Mhm.
Correct?
Okay.
I just know my current year and previous year. Anything else, whichever is there in the data, I don't care about that because I don't need it.
Okay.
So I'll say OK to this condition.
Mm-hmm.
We'll drag this field on filters, right?
Okay.
And I simply want, okay, right now something seems to be incorrect. Let me select some other year. Okay, and I'll drag this over here. Okay, so as soon as we drag 2019,
Mm-hmm.
we got all three values.
Yes.
Out of this, I just need current year and previous year. I don't need this.
Yeah.
So what I'll do, I'll just select NA and we'll say exclude,
Okay.
right? We'll say apply
Mm-hmm.
and OK. So this data is going to be only 2018 and 19 because this is my current year. It will show current and previous combined right now,
Yes.
right? Now, if I drag the same field on colors, for example, this,
Okay.
okay,
So
it
current
had
is
two values. It had two values. One is for current year and this is for previous year,
okay.
right?
Okay.
51,000 for previous years, 58,000 for current years.
Sorry for the confusion. My question is, why can't we create like a dual axis kind of for creating two different? We can create like dual axis for this as well, right?
How can you create it?
By
What
creating two separate years data combining into a single sheet.
can you apply filters on different axes?
Sorry, I
Can you apply different filters on different axes?
think so. No.
Then that would not be possible.
Okay. So I just thought in mind. So just have the question.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. So you understood this,
Yes.
that using
Mm-hmm.
your parameter, you are identifying which is your current year and which is your previous year. And then by using this calculated field, you can see, all of your data. Now there is one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say if I go ahead and show all the values, use all, apply, right? So what it does,
It includes the
it show,
NA included.
right? So it shows the flow of your current year versus previous year as well as rest of the data. Okay. So these 2 years as well as the rest of the data where the other data is lying. So you can show that thing also. But generally, because I said I want to show only current versus previous, so you can just go ahead and kind of select only these two, apply and OK. In case of 2016, what will happen? It will show only one line because data of 2015 is not there. So only current year, there is no previous. And same goes with 2020 because 2020 data is not there in this file. So you don't see anything here. It just simply shows 2019 previous year data,
Okay.
right? So there's a constraint limited, border years or minimum and maximum years. But for 18 and 17, you will get everything.
Okay. Then we can
Correct?
create a month as well, right?
In the drop down.
We need to create a separate calculated field and separate parameter for that, I think so. So creating for
You
months.
can
How we calculate?
you can create separate, or if you want you can create here also. The only thing will be you will have to modify these conditions accordingly. Because if you're creating on month level, you need to add month also, right, in the condition.
Yes.
Right, so those things will be there. Right. On year level, it is very easy. I just written 2 lines of the condition and I was able to do it. But as you go into months and or maybe quarters, the number of lines will increase and as well as the logic will increase. Right?
Yes.
Any questions here?
No, I have nothing.
So I'll say current versus previous. Okay. Now, have you heard about histogram?
Heard it?
Where do we use histogram?
That's
Okay.
basically
Lot of
history.
Yeah, histogram is generally used in case of, wherever you need to show the frequency distribution, right? Frequency distribution, you can say in other words, it's a kind of occurrences of a particular element,
Okay.
right? So let's say if I ask in a classroom, there are 50 students and you need to kind of divide categories like students basis age, right? So if we divide categories like let's say 0 to 5, 6 to 10, 15, 15 to 20, sorry, 16 to 20, and similarly maybe 21 to 25. So if I ask you to give me the count of students falling into these ranges,
Okay.
right, and represent the bar chart,
Okay.
right, that will be known as histogram, because you are telling me the occurrences of true conditions in those buckets 0 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, like that, right?
Okay.
This will be known as the bar plot will be known as histogram, and right, and the buckets which we have created 0 to 5 or 6 to 10, these will be known as bins. Okay,
This will be known as what it was? Bin?
bin, bin, bin.
Okay. Bin.
Okay, so if you go here to quantity, this data, right, let me add to sheet. Let me drag into columns. No. Okay, now if you see into quantity, where is that? Okay, so in the quantity field, if you see, it's 2, 3, 5, 7, 9, whatever, like these only. The numbers are there, right? Discrete number. If I sort this out, I have maximum as 14 and minimum as 1. Correct?
Yes.
So if I check the buckets on this particular field, I will have a good number. So let me close this. We'll right click on quantity and we'll go to create. Over here you see it is bins.
Bins means exactly what we do.
Bins means bucket. You are dividing your data. You are dividing your data into buckets,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
It's a bucket. So it says new field name. I'm telling bin, quantity bin. The size of bins, it says we'll see these many elements in one bin. So let's change it to 2, right? If we say 2, it will be like 0 to 2, then 3 to 4, then 5 to 6, like that. If you do 3, it is going to be 0 to 3, then another 3 basically from 4 to 6, then will be 7 to 9, like that. The bucket of 3 elements.
Okay.
Okay. Or if you do like 4, it's going to create 0 to 4, then 5 to 8, and then 9 to 12, like that. Do that, another dimension will get created. If you want, you can drag that here on the columns, and you can see 0, 4, 8, 12.
Okay.
Right? So it's nothing but the same thing, 0 to 4 or 0 to 3. So there are four elements, 0, 1, 2, 3. Then over here 4, which means 4, 5, 6, 7. Then it is 8. So basically 8, 9, 10, 11. Again 4 elements, and then remaining elements will be in the last category. Right? So in our case, we have data till 14 only. That's why it has created 4 categories, 4 bins. If your data is more, you will get other bins also. Right?
So last two would be excluded.
No, so in this category, you will have only 2 things, right? 12, 13, and 14, just 3 things basically. Not 2 things, 3 things. 12, 13, and 14. That's it.
Everything will be covered in that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
And just wanted, you created a calculated field for this. That means you created a bin and it automatically went into the dimension field. It should come into
Yeah.
model.
So we only created a bin. Bin is a dimension only. That's why automatically it came here.
Okay.
Okay. We have not created calculated field. It's just the bin what we have created. Now, if I drag my, the quantities, this one, right? So you can drag into rows. Now you'll see here under 0, we have sum of quantity like this. Under 0 means 0 to 0, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, right? Over here, if you see for bin number 4, basically bin number second, but we call it name is 4. We have these many elements and this element. So this goes as your histogram like this. Creates bins not available for all measures, only for the measures where we can create bin. Okay.
Okay.
So you can maybe sort it out. So all those things you can do, all you can apply those options over here. Fine. Chart only, but over here we did bucketing of our elements.
Okay.
Right? Because it is not normal x-axis, right? Generally on x-axis we were taking either year or maybe some other dimension, but here basis the same field we have taken the dimension. Right? So that was the kind of difference. So histogram is also, asked many times. So you can create that.
Okay.
Now,
So, what terms the histogram charts are used basically?
this
To create
is,
like to create like bins, most probably the histogram charts are used.
see, in creating bin is not the requirement.
Okay.
Requirement is for the number of occurrences in different buckets,
Okay.
right? That's the requirement. So bin is requirement to create histogram. But why histogram is required? To just show the occurrences in different buckets. So that's what we do here. Like there are 5,710 quantities which are between 0 and 4.
Okay. But this data doesn't make a little bit of this right sense. So if you take some like a product ID or something or product name, it would make a little bit more sense, right? Like
Uh, yeah, just repeat once again. Actually, your voice is not
no, I
clear.
think we use histogram only for creating like the numbers, not for the like product categories or something like that. It's
No, no,
only
no, no, no.
it's showing only the numbers in different sets by creating bins.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Looking at this chart, you can say, like, see, there are products which are sold in the categories, quantities, maybe bulk product, right? Bulk product. So you can say, looking at this chart now, you can say in 2016, there were only 20 kind of, um, let me just do it once. Right, you can say like there were 20 occurrences wherein your product sold in the bulk, be more than 12 in 2016. But if you go by 2019, there have been 23 incidents,
Okay.
right, wherein your product was sold more than 12 in the quantity.
Okay.
And if you say this particular bar, it shows like there have been 1153 occurrences in 2016 wherein your product was sold between 0 to 4 or 0 to 3 quantity.
Okay.
Right, so these are the different histograms in different years. You can show it by category also, right? So when I say category, basically you can just drag in, sorry, not category like this. So you will know by category that what was the quantity and their occurrences, right? But on this particular axis, you will have only bins. Over here, you cannot take any dimension.
Okay. Because
Okay.
seeing like this data, it doesn't make like from 0 to 3, there are like 1 to 3, 0 furnitures which are same. We can put like this thing.
No, this data, the data which you see, like
Mm-hmm.
these number lie between 0 to 3 only.
So I mean to say like from 0 to 3, there are like 1 to 3, 0 furnitures being sold. I can compute like that.
No, I didn't get. Can you repeat again?
Now from 0 to 3, can I conclude that 1 to 3, 0 furnitures were sold during 0 to 3 session? Then,
See, over here you will conclude like under furnitures, right?
mm-hmm.
There have been 1230 products
Mm-hmm.
which have been kind of sold from 0 to 3 quantity.
Okay.
Let's say some customer came, he bought one product. Other customer came, he bought two products at the same time in one sales, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's like that, like how many times they're doing the bulk purchase, right? When they're purchasing in bulk, what is the average, not average, what is the exact quantity they are buying. So quantity over here is either 0, 1, 2 or 3.
Okay.
Right? You can divide these bins into several further. Over here if you go, we took, let's say, do 3, right? You will have one more category added here,
Yes.
right? 0, it will be 0, 1, 2, then it will be 3, 4, 5,
Fine.
it will be 6, 7, 8, it will be 9, 8, 10, and then 11 and 12, something like that. Okay, but yes, by changing those you can always change your bin and the histogram. All right, so let's go ahead and I'll create bar charts once again, right? This time I'm going to take my, let's say, product, let's say states on columns, and I'm going to drag profit onto rows. I'll sort this out. My data will be like this. Okay, before I go ahead and create anything else, do you know what is Pareto chart?
Pareto, no.
Pareto. Okay. We don't know that. Okay, fine.
By
You must
seeing
have heard about,
the trend
yeah,
line.
you must, right. There would be a trend line and these bars.
Mm-hmm.
It will be the combination of bar charts as well as there would be a trend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You must have heard about 80-20 rule.
But not sure what exactly it is.
Okay.
80% will be that and 20% will be this much. Okay.
Basically, 80-20 is, if you go by quality parameters, 80-20 rule says if you focus on your 20% of the key problems, right, remaining 80% problems will automatically get corrected,
Okay.
right? If you
Mm.
focus on your 20% high problems, your 80% problems will automatically get corrected. That's the 80-20 rule, right? So Pareto chart is used to identify high priority elements, right? We will not say exact 80-20 here, but it tells you those priority elements where you need to focus on. And if you focus on those priority elements, remaining elements will get corrected automatically, right? Now in 80-20 rule, we define that we will be focusing only on 20%, sorry, yeah, top 20% elements. But over here, percentage is not fixed. You can define, you can identify your priority elements. They can be 20, they can be 20, they can be 80%, whatever percentage, right? But the
Okay.
idea is same, to identify your priority elements. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. So let's go ahead and we'll focus. So right here at this moment, you have your bar graph, nothing else but the bar graph. Okay, so you got all the states of US in descending order. So when I say descending order, like starting from California, that it's making the maximum sales, and we are going towards the lowest sales produced in North Dakota. If I do a cumulative sum of the sales, what would be your approach?
The data gets changed.
Okay, so in order to do the cumulative sum, I'll simply drag the sales once again over here, create a dual axis chart, right? And then let me just convert this into dual axis, right? We did it. Now for one, again, I will convert this into the bars which we had, and the another one I'll convert into trend, right? From the trend one, we may adjust labels from the trend one. So we have our bar chart and the trend line. Correct. Now, looking at this particular trend line, I will
Just receiving a call. I'll call across, no problem, you can carry on.
okay. So for this particular trend line, I will go ahead and click on add table calculation, right? And this will I'll go ahead and see total. So basically I need to take the running total so that it will keep on adding the sales of different states, right? This is the cumulative sum what it is showing. So the way we are going towards this side, our sales is decreasing for states, but cumulative will always increase because it keeps on adding. Okay. Now I'll just drag this labels by holding control, label, and over here I'll kind of show the percentage, right? We'll change this number into percentage. So how can, right now if you see, these numbers are showing the sum, right? How can we change this sum into percentage? That is the question.
I think instead of sum of average show in percent, I think we get an option over there, right?
Let's do that. Let's see that what can we do. Percentage of total if I do. Yes.
You have percentile over there?
No. Percentile is totally different. Okay. What we did, we just changed it to percentage of total.
Okay.
Right. So over here, if you see, like, now you can just add, from the beginning. Let me change the color of this trend line. Okay. So over here it is 19. Over here it is, I think, 13, and then some other percentage. So whatever line you select, right, that will be kind of, now it could be a business discretion or decision that which line you want to take as a limit line, and post which you will do your what do we call prioritization of elements. So this is exactly your Pareto chart. Starting from this element, you are going towards your cumulative sum. Now what's happening, let's say you focus here, right? So
Mm-hmm.
till here you can add the sum of these percentages like 19, 13, 7, 6, 5 and 3. Whatever comes, maybe if you focus, like you say that these are my priority elements, priority states, I'll
Mm-hmm.
focus only on these states,
Okay.
right? So remaining whatever your percentage is there, right? You will know the key problems here only. Or in other words, you can say if you focus on sales of these elements or these states, you will be able to improve the maximum sales in your business. Because like over here you are doing good, right?
Yes.
So by knowing the pros and cons of your business, if you focus on those things, same implementation will help you in other states also. See, there can be number of uh, it is not just the one story what I'm talking. It could
Mm-hmm.
be depending on business. There could be a several justifications,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Generally, Pareto chart is used in quality businesses or quality processes, wherein you plot the number of defects or
Okay.
mostly the defects in each category. Right here we have plotted the sales, but you plot defects so that you
Okay.
can focus on top 20% defects, and working on those defects will solve the maximum problem.
Problem.
Okay.
Okay. It was a very big confusion for me. It was difficult to understand this Pareto chart.
See, you need to understand the business people, right? Their requirement.
Yes, yes.
You might
Depending
be knowing the data, right? You might be knowing the data, but
on.
again, the angle, the perspective business people want to do analysis, you will not know that. For that, you
Correct.
need to have a discussion with them, right?
Discussion.
Base,
Yes.
basis discussion, you can come up with some visualization and propose that this we can represent.
Yes.
But but if you say like you can directly go ahead and create something and they'll say wow, that won't happen, right?
Yes.
That
Correct.
that won't happen until unless you are not from business team,
Yes.
right? So
Correct.
this was the Pareto. So Pareto is nothing but the dual axis chart combination of your cumulative sum and bar charts.
Okay.
Okay, so we did trend, we did pie, we did donut, candle. Okay. Okay. Now let's go ahead and talk about group concept of group.
Mm.
See, there could be many scenarios when, say, let's say these are my categories, and over here, let's say I'm plotting my profit. Okay. Now, if you look at this, right here we know that till this, which is fasteners, I'm making profit.
Mm-hmm.
But these three categories where there is a loss, right?
Okay.
While doing the analysis, let's focus on high performing categories.
So your
If my
voice was
focus, right, and
low.
okay, I'm saying like let's say if my focus is to represent high performing elements or high
Okay.
performing subcategories, right? Which means I really don't want to focus on low performing categories,
Category. Okay.
right? but I need to show that in the data, right? Why I say that? If you don't need to show it, then definitely you can go to this particular filter.
Remove it. Unfiltered.
Yeah, uncheck it out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uncheck that. So that feature will be there. But
Mm-hmm.
I want to show them also, but I don't want to show the detail,
Okay.
right? Maybe in that case, you would like to kind of group the non-performing elements and show just one liner for it. So at the place of consuming 8 lines, you will just show it into one line,
Okay.
right? How can we do that? That's a concept called group. So we'll just select these elements like this. I have, with help of control, and you just go here. There's a clip icon.
Okay. Group one.
Click on, right? Click on it. It will automatically come those low performing elements like art, bookcases, envelope, and others, whatever it was there,
Mm-hmm.
right? Added those into this category, right? I'm still showing that thing here, but I'm not focusing on individual element,
Okay.
right? Now I can see the profit of my core elements properly over here, right? And we can focus and discuss about these things individually, right? By any chance, let's say you need to kind of go ahead and any of these elements, you can go to this group, subcategory group, edit group, and then you can see here, right? Under clip icon, you have all those combined elements, and then you
Mm-hmm.
have other elements. So anytime you can drag anything out of this group, right?
Okay.
Or anytime you can add anything from outside to within group.
Mm-hmm.
So that's possible. Now let's say you created 2 groups already. Let's say there are 2 groups, you want to combine them. You can do that same as, set what we did yesterday,
Okay.
right? So you'll get the list of all the groups over here, and you can combine multiple groups into one,
Okay.
right? So those features will be there. And this is the main concept and use of groups,
Okay.
right? Can say,
We want to show all the categories in the same graph means we need to uncheck that group.
all the categories into same graph.
Mm-hmm. Means in the same sheet. Now I create separate category, right? Separate group for the performing elements which are in profit. The non-profit
Right,
as well.
that's what, yeah. So that's what we are doing right now, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I have
But currently
plotted
we can.
profit.
Uh-huh.
I have plotted profit for all
Mm-hmm.
the subcategories,
Mm-hmm.
but I have just grouped non-performing subcategories into one,
Okay.
right?
Non-group categories are this the last one, right? The art, book, case, envelope, everything.
These are also categories, right? Subcategories.
Yes. But you have combined all those subcategories into a single group called art, bouquet, case, envelope, something. Correct?
No, I combined only low-performing categories into this group. The categories which were high-performing, they're right. I have not added them here.
Okay.
No, look at this thing.
Can you repeat it once, please? It was okay. In this.
You have all the category, right? Under, like accessory, appliance, binders, chairs.
Binders, yes.
These are your categories only, right? I
Yes.
only created a group out of these categories.
Okay. Which are non-profitable.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All other categories are still there. So what
Mhm.
will happen? Let me just remove this. First of all, I just dragged it like this.
Yes.
Right. All of my performing and below here, I have all my non-performing elements.
Okay.
Right. So I just selected these things from here and then created a group. So like this, only these elements I have selected and
Mhm.
created the group.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
If you
Got
add
it.
envelope also here, you will get the same number. So how can we add envelope? We'll go
Right.
here and drag this envelopes into the group. So like this, apply, see,
Okay. Got it.
right? Okay.
Mhm.
Let's say you have this chart over here, which is
Okay.
called groups,
Mm-hmm.
and there is another chart which is called Pareto.
Okay.
Right. Now, if I ask you to kind of create a mechanism so that when I drag these two on dashboard, right? Let's
Okay.
say this is the dashboard. If I drag it here, it is group. And if I drag Pareto, let's say it's here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have two charts on this particular dashboard at this moment.
Okay.
They're taking a lot of space,
Yes.
right? And because there is a less space for this Pareto, it doesn't look that good.
Right.
So maybe business wants that give me some feature so that if I select group, I can see the group chart. And if I select Pareto, I should be able to see the Pareto chart.
Okay.
How can we implement that?
In the dashboard itself.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean,
okay.
in this workbook, you can do anything to implement that. But on
Mhm.
dashboard, they will see a selection criteria. They can select anything and accordingly they will see the chart.
You were creating a parameter for saying.
Parameters. So you mean if I create a parameter, just guide me, right? I'll do that. So parameter, what is next?
We can name it as like groups or this one. Groups or Pareto.
So let's
Groups
say
and
group
Pareto.
or Pareto.
Pareto.
Okay.
And then data type would be like just a data. We're not changing. We're just selecting the dashboard, right? We can create
Mhm.
it as a integer because there are numbers in that. We can create it as string as well.
Okay,
What should
let's do that at string
Mhm.
now.
Then create a value like if group. We can
Okay.
just give we can
Group.
just give value name
Mhm.
group. Then down Pareto. I'm just giving the dashboard names and not giving the values because we just need to show only the group and this one, right? Correct me
Right.
if I'm wrong. Okay. Then okay.
Okay.
And then we can create a filter based on a selection. Okay. Group or Pareto. Then we need to create a calibrated field for that.
Okay. Now,
You can give any name. You can use same name, or you can just select anyone. Select that, okay. And then if condition. What we can do here. If group means, if first you need to select the parameter, and if what parameter name we are given.
group or Pareto.
Okay, if group of Pareto equal to Pareto, then Pareto. Else Pareto equal to, else group is equal to group.
Okay. Simple condition.
Okay.
Because there are only two
Okay.
conditions, so I can specify one and other will be in else automatically.
Else. Okay. Okay.
Now what?
Then drag that to the this one, to the view,
Where?
the column shelf.
Columns.
Okay. Then can try to select that this one. Select that. No, it's not working.
It is changing this name here.
Okay, it's only changing the name. It's not showing the complete chart. Do we need to create like in edit this one? This one. In select chart, go to edit.
Which one?
The one in the middle, in the groups, there is a select chart, right? Or you can go select where there is a naming convention in the middle.
Are you talking about the alignment?
Yeah. If we can do the
So,
alignment by creating,
those.
not alignment. You have groups, right? Groups, there is a select chart.
Huh?
Okay, right click on that. Right click. Means you can edit the title and you can select the parameters over there, right?
You're talking about this one.
Link, yeah, insert here.
Okay.
Apply. Now if we try to select.
It will just take the name, right? It will not change the chart.
Yes.
But I need to kind of change chart
The chart.
itself.
What can be done? I'm not sure what we need to do next.
Okay, no worries. So what we can do here is the field which we dragged here, right? Select chart. We need to drag this on filters,
Okay.
right? Because, right, let me tell you more thing. So in this particular calculated field, we define two values. One is Pareto, another is group, right? These two values are there. And because we have selected group over here, if I drag this on filters, I'll see group.
Okay.
I don't see the Pareto. So I can just select group and will apply and OK.
Okay.
Right. Let's go to Pareto chart. And over here, I'll drag the same group or Pareto. Right now, group is selected.
Yes.
In this case, I'll select Pareto and take this condition over here and select Pareto.
Okay.
Right. So if parameter has Pareto, this thing will be there.
Okay.
And if parameter has group, this thing will be there.
Okay.
Right. So what's happening? Because it is Pareto, I don't see any chart here. If I select group, I'll see this chart, but not the Pareto.
Because there are two different sheets, right?
There are two different sheets, and whatever I select here, I'll be able to see that chart only, not the other one.
Okay, because they are on two different sheets. That
right. Okay. Correct. So at a moment, just one chart. Okay. If I go to my dashboard where I drag these fields, so if you see here, let me take that parameters group or this. We'll make it floating. We'll put it like this here. Okay. So what's happening now? If I have Pareto, I can see Pareto chart. There is no group chart. If I see group, I see group chart but no Pareto chart.
Okay.
Right? But my purpose is still not solved. I still can see the headers, and maybe that is why there is a white space over here.
Okay.
If I change this value, I can get the white space here. Right? So let's try to kind of hide this title. Let's see what happens.
But it has occupied that space, right?
Still it is taking that space. So actually that's the problem. How can we override these things? Okay. So how can we avoid this thing also in from happening?
Okay.
So what I'll do, I will remove these both charts for a moment. We'll take one container here called horizontal or vertical.
Okay.
I'll take horizontal control. Right? This is basically the container. Inside of that, you can drag your objects. Okay. So I drag container, will drag Pareto inside it.
Okay.
And then we'll drag group also inside it. I'll put it side by side. Okay. Right? So there is still the same condition.
Yes.
If it is Pareto, if it is group, it's coming like this. Right? So now I'll hide that title once again. The only difference is that in this scenario, these both charts are inside one container. And whatever I select, I see my data accordingly. I don't see the other one.
Okay.
Right? So using one parameter, you are able to kind of switch between two sheets and you can show them as one at a moment.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Any questions here?
No. That I just understood that for showing two different sheets, we need to, in the dashboard, we need to either select a container and drag those, and then we can see it in a single sheet,
Right.
or single dashboard, what you're trying to achieve.
Right. And you can hide the title so that they will not show the white space.
Okay. This comes in the dashboard while we design the dashboard.
Right. See, the problem happens because in dashboard you have limited area, right?
Yes,
You can define the width and height, but again, let's say if you put a lot of things on dashboard, for end users it might not look good.
yes,
So you need to give them as many features or options so that they can see limited things. If they want, they can switch that view.
correct.
So that's a kind, right? That's a kind of thought
Mhm.
should be there in the mind while developing.
Okay,
So right, if you show two charts, will that look better? Or if you show one chart at a time and give them feature to switch between other chart, that will be better, right?
okay,
So it's a different combinations which you can try.
yes.
So this is related to sheet selector. We generally call it sheet selector, right?
Mhm.
Now there is another problem. Not with this basically. I mean use case I'm talking about.
Mhm.
We did top and bottom the other day,
Yes.
right? Let's say if I go here, I drag region. There is a region field also. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's regions. Then I have state, and then I can take maybe profit or sales,
Mhm.
right? So these things are available with me.
Mhm.
Now my question is, if I want to show top 5 states by profit in each region,
Mhm.
how would you achieve that?
By using the filter, we can select top and bottom as we have changed.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that. So
When
you
you
are
click
saying by,
filter,
okay, just a minute. Let me put borders to it. Okay, fine. So you are saying we'll go to filters.
mhm.
Okay. What do I need to drag here on the filter? State.
Yeah, yeah, state.
Okay, I just dragged it. Now what?
Then you can go to top one,
Top,
then by field, top five.
top 5. Okay.
Then you need with profit, right?
Yeah, by profit only.
Yeah. Okay.
Ap- Apply
Mhm.
and okay.
Okay.
So it gave me top 5 states,
Mhm.
right? I agree that these are my top 5 states, but they are
Yes.
not by region.
Okay.
They are only
We
top
can
5 states.
we can move region to filter as well.
Okay, you want region also to be dragged on filters.
Filter,
Okay.
and we can select OK. Once it's there, apply and show filter, and then select according to region.
Hmm. So
Deselect
you
all and
want,
only I have. This
no,
is
it's
only
not showing that.
okay. It shows only a single value.
Yeah.
Okay.
Think about it.
Mm-hmm. How is showing now 5
See, I simply added this into the context filter.
Okay.
Right, I changed it to context filter, so that's why it is showing it like that. But this is not what I want, right?
Okay.
I want top 5 states in each region,
Okay.
right? What this is doing, it is showing me top 5 states,
Mm-hmm.
right? If I select one region, it will show top 5,
Okay.
right? But if I want to show all states, sorry, all regions at the same time, it is not
Mm-hmm.
showing that, right? It is simply showing top 5.
Top 5 yes.
Correct. So that's a problem. I mean, it's not solving my purpose.
Correct.
How can I see like East region, then top 5? Uh, then there should be South, and under South, I should be able to see top 5.
Top 5 yes. Okay. I got
Right?
what you're telling, but I'm thinking how can we achieve it?
Mhm.
Again by using parameters or something like that?
If it is SQL, how do you do that?
If it is SQL.
Mhm. If you need to do the same task in SQL, how would you do that? SQL, Oracle, or anything?
Mm-hmm. Drivers are not applied. Can't get it. No. Not sure, not getting exactly.
Okay. I mean, in SQL, you can use rank function, right?
Okay. Rank function choose like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that.
Exactly. You can rank out the states by region basis
Mm-hmm.
profit, and then you can show it, isn't it?
Okay.
Is it doable in SQL, right?
Durable, but I haven't tried it, but I think we can do it.
Right. So in the same way, the way you will do it in SQL, in the same
Mm-hmm.
way you can do that here also,
Okay. We have to
which
create a
means you
category.
can apply, yeah, you need to take rank, and then
Mm-hmm.
basis rank, you can show top 5,
Okay.
right? So what we will do, we'll just go ahead, create one calculated field. I'll call it rank, and over here, I'll define a function of rank that will be rank. Expression will be basically sum of profit and will show in ascending order. Sorry, let's say descending order because I need to show top first. So it'll be
Mm-hmm.
in descending order and bracket close,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll say apply, okay. And because rank is going to be just the number, right?
Mm-hmm.
It cannot be your continuous field.
Okay.
It will be a discrete number, right?
Correct.
So you need to convert that into discrete first of all.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want, you can drag that here
Into
in
dimension.
dimensions, right? Okay, it's not coming right now. Fine. It's already discrete, so I think it will solve my purpose. I'll
Mm-hmm.
drag this rank over here, right? So it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I
Okay.
don't have any issue, right? I don't have any issue. It looks fine to me.
Mm-hmm.
What I'll do next, I'll click on this rank we'll go to edit table calculation.
Mm-hmm.
And what I want is, I want this rank to be calculated for each region and state, wherein I want for each region my state to be recalculated. Oh, sorry. I want the level of states, but I want it to be recalculated for each region. I want states to be ranked on every region.
Mm-hmm.
That's a requirement, right?
Yes, region
I want
identity.
top 5 states by region. So I want to rank states in every region. So restarting every region means, let's say earlier you were working on east. As soon as you move to south, it will again look for top 1, top 2, top 3, top 4 like that.
Okay.
Right? So I just made this change. Now over here, if you see for west, you got 1 to 5. Right now it is only west is selected. If you select all right now for a moment,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so you still see central, east, south, west, everything is there. Okay, just remove this filter for a moment, the region which we had. It is not required actually. So I'll say clear. And okay, right. Now I'll drag, even I'll remove this state also from here. I don't need that too.
Okay.
Okay. I'll drag my rank field over here.
The filters.
Because rank is telling me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 by each region, right? So I'll just drag this field to filters, and over here I'll select only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll say apply and OK, right? So it is showing me my region. Okay, sorry, one more problem. Because rank is a table calculation, you should not drag it from here. You need to drag this rank into filters.
Okay.
Right. So control and then you need to drag
What's the difference
this
between
here.
that and that?
For that you need to know what is a table calculation first.
Okay.
Right. So I just selected 1 to 5, apply, and then OK. The same thing what I did with this field. But over here it was not doing that, but as soon as I dragged this, it worked. Right? I can see in each region I have 1 to 5 and their states.
Okay.
1 to 5 and those states. Right? Now I know like these are 1 to 5. I don't need to see the rank. I can right click on this rank and say show header uncheck.
Okay.
So I won't see the rank field. I'll see different states and I'll see different regions. Right? So this solves my purpose. Except the table calculation question. Do you have any other question on this particular view?
No. It was like everything mix up. With confusing.
So,
I need to practice it. Means I need to look it one more time.
yeah.
So
Okay. Right. So basically we use the rank concept first of all, right? And the concept of rank, if you go by this formula, by profit, it is simply ranking. I mean, assigning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the view. To the view. I'm not saying any field right now here. Have I mentioned any field, right? I have not.
No.
Right? It's a table calculation. Rank is a table calculation function. As soon as I written this formula, this was the line which came automatically. It says results are computed along the table. Right? So this field doesn't depend on the data what I have. This field depend on the table where we drag it, right? If I drag the same field over here, it will have a different value. If I drag it here, it will have a different value.
Okay.
It's a table calculation, which means it is specific to the view where it is dragged,
Okay.
right? So anywhere, for example, we used one more calculation, Pareto one. We use table calculation, right? Everywhere where you see this triangle sign,
Mm-hmm.
right? That is table calculation.
Okay.
And these table calculations are specific to the view where they are created,
Okay.
right? These both are sales, but you can see them in form of percentage over here,
Mm-hmm.
right? That doesn't mean that my data got changed. My
Okay.
data is still the same, only for this particular view, I'm showing percentage.
Correct.
And the same goes with this particular rank here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this rank field was already here. I edited the calculation, so that's why I was able to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But this rank was a different field,
Okay.
right? Because it
Mm-hmm.
was already modified. And over here, if you see edit table calculation, we did these settings. These settings are specific to this view
Okay.
and this particular field.
Mm.
Okay,
Yes.
right? So just go through this, learn about central tendency so that we can cover it tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And I'll kind of share this video and this workbook both once again.
Okay.
So any questions before you drop?
No, I need to look it from my side now. See
Right.
what are the calculations and dependency.
Mhm.
Try to create from my side once I get the video.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll share that.
Most
Okay.
probably
Hmm.
today or on the weekends I'll surely have a look into it.
Okay. 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 Fine.
Okay.
All right then.
Yeah,
Yep.
thank
Bye bye. Bye.
you.